Live from FedEx Forum, this is The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hello, good people.
That's a single-on Lang.
Single-on Lang. And it's almost a single on me for this whole show because it's only me and CJ Hurts here. But Rob Fisher's not here. John Roser's not here. It's the day after the Super Bowl. Everybody's recovering. They're in full recovery mode. I saw Roser. He was on the Vernon show, but I guess he had to go.
Yeah, he's got an appointment according to him. So
I know he was at a Super Bowl party last night.
He was.
Yeah. I was. Did you go to a Super Bowl party? How did you watch the Super Bowl?
We did something at the house.
Right.
We just had Kyra, director, noted Eagles fan, up here at GCM. We had her come over, and then some friends decided they were going to show up also with their 3 kids. And so we stuck them in the back room. Like, hey, y'all go back in the back room. And we just kicked it. We ate some good pizza, ate some good wings. I still got leftovers. It's the only thing getting me through this show right now is knowing when it ends, I go home and I can eat pizza and wings for a second straight day.
I told you I had to cook for my friend who tore his ACL.
What all did you make?
I made like 100 wings, half lemon pepper wet, half just buffalo.
Okay.
Brought them all over there. And at the end of the day, we had like maybe the lemon pepper were gone. There was maybe 10 buffalo left. And his wife was like, "Do you want to take these home?" And I was like, "No." Because, I don't want to show up with them and then take them back. I felt like that was but there's a lot of kids there. They were all in the back. The adults were in the front watching. The only time everyone got together was a halftime
show.
Yeah.
Same.
And I think I was surprised a lot of the kids knew a lot of the Kendrick lyrics. I was a little bit surprised. My son knew a bunch of them, and I was like, I didn't know he was listening to that. I guess it's on YouTube. You see them, I think it was just not like us mostly. But
do you ever just say, "All right, hey, real quick, tell me why you know that lyric. Explain that lyric to me because I don't get it." Because I did that. The Harry Met Sally commercial when she's moaning, the little 14-year-old girl is cackling with laughter. I'm like, hey, hold the hell.
Why is that funny?
Why is that funny?
What'd she say?
Yeah, explain that to me. She got red. She was like, well, she's moaning and that's
because it tastes good.
Okay, all right, kid. All right, don't make me have to pull you to the side so we can have the talk.
We got to talk about those commercials too, but I guess we should talk about this. So I also I might as well get this out of the way too. I had the squares competition I was in.
Yeah.
I talked about it on Thursday's Odds Couple, and it almost tore.
What numbers? It
almost
did you have
tore
again?
my text group apart because I sent the clip to the group. I was accused by one of them's wife of being whiny. Which I admitted I might have been. I said also I just needed content. I had let me see which numbers I had. I had 6 and 6, 6 and 4, 0 and 8, 4 and 8, and also 2 and 6. So lots of 6s, lots of 8s, lots of 4s.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of those numbers hit at any point. No. It was 7-0 after 1, 24. Well, I guess there was a 4 at halftime.
24-0 at half. Yeah.
Yeah, but none of my numbers hit. And one of the guys. College friends won one of the things, and a different friend one of the other things.
Are they family? Were they family to the?
No.
Okay. Because that's what.
But friends, like college friends, like that's. I don't know. I was texting the group during the thing. Nobody was happy. Everybody was upset. It wasn't just me. And the guy who ran it was also. He tried to make the case that he was also upset.
Yeah.
That he didn't win anything, but I don't know.
Funny business.
It is. The game was worse than the Thunder Grizzlies game, the Super Bowl itself. It turned out final score was 40-22.
It wasn't that close.
The line was down to 1, and I actually went all in on this show on KC because I didn't want them to win, but I was like, all right, well, look, the line's this. I'm going to take KC money line and take KC in the points, and it didn't matter. They just got their butt kicked.
I think everybody on Odds Couple, all of us took Kansas City. I would say a fair amount of people also took Kansas City because the thought was you got Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs have won some ungodly amount of games in a row. that are decided by one score or less. And the Eagles said, okay, we probably can't beat them in a one-score game, so let's just make sure it's not a one-score game.
I guess.
Let's just beat the hell out of them.
They did beat the hell out of them.
Can't lose to the Chiefs in a close game if you're not playing a close game.
I mean, I thought from the start of the game, from the first, 5 minutes of the game, it seemed like the Eagles' first possession, they marched down the field. They got that pass interference, which was a kind of a bogus call. You're thinking, oh, here we go. The refs are going to start doing it again.
Yeah.
I mean, he did hit him in the face mask, I guess. But then, they were moving the ball pretty methodically all the game against the Chiefs. They didn't take huge shots down the field, but they got a couple. And then the Chiefs just couldn't do anything. And I know, there was that stat about they blitzed, what was it, 40 – or they had 42 plays with pressure on Mahomes that they did, but they didn't blitz at all. Is that what it was?
On 42 dropbacks, Mahomes felt pressure 38% of the time, hurried 16 times, sacked 6. And they did that without blitzing. According to ESPN Next Gen Stats, that's just the 4th time in NFL history
ever
where a team has not blitzed an entire game.
But and from what I read, Bill Barnwell had a piece that apparently a few of those they did technically there were zone blitzes. So they blitzed somebody,
and somebody drops
but they
off.
dropped somebody else. So they brought 4.
Yeah.
But it was somebody he wasn't expecting to come, and it made it a little different. But for the most part, they just brought forward the whole game. And the Chiefs were loading up the backfield, max protecting. You could see the running back staying in. A couple of times, the guy just went right around Travis Kelce around the edge. Turns out if you get a bunch of Georgia Bulldogs on your defense, it might be. If anything, I thought you saw why Georgia won back-to-back titles.
Yeah.
That, all those guys on that defense were out there playing, and some of them were hurt for the Philly. They were still missing. N'Kobe Dean, Keely Ringo were hurt and out, but they had a bunch of studs on that defense. And shout out Vic Fangio, I guess. That was the name I kept seeing tossed around. I was thinking, so Jalen Hurts was named the MVP of the game and played great. Was there one guy on the defense you would have given it to? Because I felt like the defense was probably as valuable as the offense was for Philly.
Sweat, 2.5 sacks, and 6 pressures.
Yeah.
It was either Hurts or Sweat. And like you said, man, Patrick Mahomes, he hadn't faced that type of pressure in the NFL.
Which is crazy. Hadn't
been sacked 6 times in 132 games professionally. And this is the first time he gets sacked 6 times in the Super Bowl.
So how were the Eagles able to do that with 4 guys blitzing? What made them so much better than the Bills, than anybody else they played up until this point?
There's more talent on that defensive front, 1. And 2, I don't know what the hell they put in Kansas City's offensive line's water, but they were awful. They were terrible trying to block. And so most of the time when you get, most of the time when there's pressure coming, it's coming from somewhere consistently, right? It's not coming from everywhere. It's coming from somewhere. You've got a stud Myles Garrett, right? Micah Parsons. You've got some type of stud on the edge, and wherever the edge is that he's coming from, he's coming, and you can slide the pressure that way. Sometimes you get a Ndamukong Suh up the middle, or Vita Vea, Aaron Donald up the middle, and that's where the pressure is coming from. It was coming from everywhere. So they would get pressure on the edges. Patrick Mahomes would try to step up in the pocket because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to trust the pocket, step up into the pocket, and the dudes in the middle are coming at him. Or, God forbid, the dudes in the middle are coming at him. He's like, let me try and run outside. Nope, we being the Eagles, we're also over there as well. That one of the worst performances by an offensive line in Super Bowl history.
I thought it reminded me of Super Bowl 55 when the Tampa Bay played the Chiefs.
That's another bad offensive line performance.
And it felt like the Tampa Bay defensive line was just running through turnstiles coming at Mahomes. He was just running for his life every single play.
On one leg also.
Yeah, he didn't seem as desperate in this game. This one seemed like it was kind of like just consistent pressure all the way around. It wasn't just one guy busting through whatever. He would take the snap, like you said, drop back, and then you could almost like see it in his head. He was like, "Oh no, I got to do something. I got to go. I got to do something." He never tried to really run until the fourth quarter when the game was out of hand, and then he busted a couple runs and threw some bombs down the field.
Yeah, with the second team in, and everybody.
But he was trying to. I mean, they'd already dumped the Gatorade at that point. He was trying to clearly just stay within what they were trying to do as an offense, and it wasn't good enough because the Eagles were just so good.
Watching it, so it's 10 zip.
Yeah.
And it's okay, this is a defensive game.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's going to kill the over. Oh, well, let's watch some good football here. And had that half ended 10-0 or 13-3, something like that, I'm interested to know what the Chiefs would have done, because then you could have done more. If they're getting pressure on you so quick, cool, let's do more dink and dunks. Let's just get the ball out of his hand. They couldn't run the ball either. Both teams struggled running the ball from the running back position. Saquon didn't have a great game either. We'll talk about him in a second. But if you're down 10, you can do the short passing game. Most valuable thing on this planet is the football. Once he threw what basically amounts to 2 pick sixes, right?
Yep.
1 pick six to DeJean. The second interception, the Eagles got the ball inside, the 10 or something ridiculous like that, leads to a touchdown. Once he does that, you can no longer dink and dunk your way out of this situation. You're down 24.
Yeah.
You need more routes to go down the field. That means you need time in the pocket, and that's just something that the Chiefs didn't have. They didn't have the ability to give him time in the pocket. Everybody watching the game, audibly gasped on the sack when he drops back the strip fumble and he goes to throw and they take off. I thought they ripped his arm out of place.
That's like when Carson Beck got tackled on tore his shoulder in the SEC championship game. Yeah, same thing. When it was 24-0 at the half and the Chiefs get the ball to start the second half, and you're like, all right, maybe they got something here. And they ran a couple plays and punted. And I was watching with a Philly fan. I was like, why wouldn't you go for it here? Like, I mean, you're down 3 scores. And you haven't done anything, and this defense has been dominant. Like I think at some point you got to kind of try things here because your defense hadn't done anything either. Like the Eagles are moving the ball. You mentioned Saquon Barkley, 25 carries, 57 yards. Someone said, I saw someone today was like, if you told a Chiefs fan before the game Saquon's going to have 25 carries for 57 yards, you'd be like, all right, cool.
You take it.
I feel good about that. Like we got a good shot. The Jalen Hurts was going to be 17 completions. You're like, oh, all right, maybe we got Roser went on and on about how they were going to take A.J. Brown out of things. And we were like, what about Devontae Smith? I kept thinking about that during the game because Devontae Smith looked awesome for the Eagles. He had he finished with 4 catches for 70 yards and a TD. A.J. Brown got a TD too, though. So,
I mean, that's a tough thing about this Eagles team. They have elite skill position dudes.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown is a legit number 1. Devontae Smith is running around because A.J. is a legit number 1. He's a number 2, but I think Devontae Smith is a number 1 also. You've got one of the 2 best running backs in the NFL in the backfield in Saquon Barkley. Oh, and by the way, Jalen Hurts can also run the ball too. And he ended up with 72 rushing yards on the day, setting the Super Bowl record that he set the last time he was in the Super Bowl for rushing yards by a quarterback, the only quarterback in NFL history to rush for over 70 yards or 70 yards or more in a Super Bowl is Jalen Hurts, right? So it's like there are so many different ways they can beat you. Cool, take something away. What are you going to do with the other part of this and the other piece of this? And again, they got down to the Chiefs because of what basically amounts to 2 defensive touchdowns.
Yeah.
The Chiefs got down big, and that just allowed the Eagles to play freely and say, all right, let's take some shots down the field, which they did, and they did successfully.
That first play of the fourth quarter, I think, where they had the ball, and maybe it was later in the fourth quarter, but I was like, all right, here you're going to run some clock.
Yeah.
Use some time, and they took a shot downfield right away. I think that was Devontae Smith's touchdown.
That was Devontae Smith's touchdown.
But as soon as the quarterback, I was like, I said like 4 times, it's like, use the clock right here. This is it. You got the game. Boom! Touchdown. I was like, all right, this seems intuitive. They got something else going on. Kansas City, like to your point though about once they get behind. Like the Eagles made them one-dimensional and then took the one dimension that they gave them, the passing, and took that away from them too. They had 11 carries on the night, Kansas City. 4 of those were Patrick Mahomes. Kareem Hunt had 3 carries for 9 yards. Perrine had 1 carry for 8 yards, and Pacheco had 3 for 7. Like, they had nothing on the ground. So then they got, all right, they're going to pass the ball. We already know Kelsey didn't do anything. I remember when Worthy caught that pass in like the second or quarter, and you're like, oh, wow, that's his first catch today. Like, they did a really, really good job of taking that runaway, getting ahead of them on the offensive side, and then the Chiefs were kind of screwed. Like, they didn't really know what to do. Andy Reid was looking at that Waffle House menu, and it didn't have any choices. He'd already had the Grand Slam breakfast. He'd already gotten the hash browns scattered, covered, smothered to go. He has nothing left on there.
I mean, so much about that is, again, that offensive line was pitiful.
Yeah.
It was awful. And if you can get pressure rushing 4, it's 11 dudes on the field. That means you drop 7. Those windows, which are already very, very narrow, very, very small windows, passing the ball in the NFL, they become all the smaller and all the tighter because like linebackers are back there in coverage in addition to safeties, and obviously your cornerbacks are back there as well. So being able to get pressure with just 4, no matter how you're doing it, if you're dropping somebody off of the line, bringing the line back, however you want to do it, getting pressure with 4 is so very, very important in the NFL, and the Eagles did a really, really good job of that, allowing them to drop dudes off in the coverage, cover the short stuff while also protecting against the deep stuff as well. And the Chiefs got down big, and they just couldn't do anything about it. Part of the reason they got down big was because they just couldn't do anything. The interception that Patrick Mahomes threw, the pick 6 to DeJean, was one of those, all right, Patrick Mahomes is trying to make a play. Well, hell, it's 8 dudes, 7 dudes in the secondary. You can't, there's no window. There's nowhere for you to throw that. And he ends up making a bad throw. And to DeJean's credit, he ends up taking it back to the house. But, like, that's a function and a product of, hey, we're able to get pressure with 4. Brandon Graham coming back really helped that defensive front out.
What was your favorite meme last night that you saw?
Oh, I was not into the memes. I didn't see a whole lot.
Cooper DEI Gene?
I did not see that. I wish I had.
I thought you'd like that one.
Oh, I did. This is why DEI is important. This is why it matters.
What did you think of the halftime show?
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Listen, man, as long as you're entertaining, I'm good with it. I understand there's a whole bunch of messaging going on. I catch that. I don't care about it. It's a Super Bowl. Don't make me think. Super Bowl is not a place for thinking.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good. The thing, if you want someone to come out and play a bunch of like hit radio songs, like Kendrick Lamar is not your guy to begin with. And then people were saying, well, he didn't play 2 or 3 of his hits. Well, okay. But I thought it was cool. Like, it was really interesting and thought-provoking. And like I've seen today, all these people breaking down all the meaning of it and all that stuff. But in the moment, I thought it was cool. I thought it's pretty good.
I mean, are we trying to big brain this? Are we trying to break it down on this show? Because I can, but
no. I thought it was better than like Adam Levine in the Atlanta.
The only issue with Adam Levine was
it was in Atlanta.
It was in Atlanta. Yeah. If Adam Levine was last night, it would have been fine. At Super Bowl, you've got to have energy when you perform.
No, but he wouldn't have been fine last night because people would have complained about it's New Orleans. Like, where was Weezy? They did have Master P in the pregame.
Master P came out. I think that's how you do it from now on. If you're the NFL, when you're in whatever Super Bowl city, you have it do the pregame stuff. Yeah. Southern's band was incredible.
I saw that. Yeah.
The shout out to the Human Jukebox. They did their thing. They were incredible. You had second line bands perform as well. You had New Orleans flavor and style.
Yeah. Harry Connick was like one of the hosts of the pregame.
I guess that's great. That was wonderful. That was good stuff. And Kendrick came out and did his thing during the halftime show. It was fine. It was fine.
So I think here's what we should do, CJ, since it's just you and me. We'll take a break. We'll come back. I want to go over some of the prop bets we talked about.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of weird prop bets for that game, and we took some of them. We didn't take some of them, but we can talk through some of those. We have some fish nuggets.
Nugs.
We can talk futures.
Yeah.
We have some futures for next season.
Let's go.
Super Bowl LX.
Let's
now
go.
that Super Bowl LIX is done. We talk about some futures. I've got an amazing Who Said It just for you today.
I promise if one of them is Jameis, you'll do this show by yourself.
Well,
I'll get up and
I might be by myself for a few weeks. Because I hate to say this, my man, but Jameis Winston was one of the stars of Super Bowl week on Fox.
He really was. We will just let any goofball get up there and be goofy and become a star.
I actually there was other sports this weekend too. There was Waste Management Open in Phoenix. I have some clips from that also, just for you. So let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk more about the Super Bowl. We'll talk about some of the prop bets. We get some fish nuggets, all this other stuff. You're watching The Odds Couple here on Grind City Media.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple here on Grind City Media. Lang Whitaker here with CJ Hurt. Rob Fisher's flying high above the skies at the moment. He's on an airplane, though, somewhere on his way to the Grizzlies game tomorrow night in Sacramento.
Phoenix? I don't know.
Phoenix?
I don't know.
Grizzlies are on the road this week in California.
Phoenix.
Thanks, Jalen. Grizzlies are in Phoenix tomorrow night, and Rob will be there with the rest of the FanDuel Sports team to broadcast that game tomorrow night. So Rob's gone. Rose are at an appointment of some sort, apparently. Who are we to judge? Who are we to ask? But Roser's not here either. So CJ and I are here, and we talked a little bit about the Super Bowl in that first segment. I wanted to talk about some of these prop bets because we talked a lot about them on the Odds Couple on Thursday, and the game itself turned out to be a blowout. It wasn't very close. The prop bets were a lot closer, and I want to start with the national anthem because we talked a lot about this.
Right at 120.
So John Batiste sang the national anthem from New Orleans, another New Orleans artist.
Yeah.
The first question was going to be, would he play the piano or not? That was a different prop bet you could do. I said, of course he would.
Yeah, of course.
He did play a piano that it was painted by his wife, apparently. I saw he posted.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he posted on Instagram today that his wife was the one who painted it. And so we thought he was the 120. Was that the number 120? 2 minutes? 120 seconds.
120.5. So it was
the over
120 and a half seconds.
So he gets to the end of the song. I thought he would go over because he improvises. He's a jazz musician. Maybe he'll just like have a little fun with it, draw it out. And if he's playing the piano, he's even more likely, my thought was. He gets to the end of the thing, and I think it was the land of the free line. Mm-hmm. He says it 3 times, draws it way out, gives you the home of the brave, closes it out, and no one's sure if he hit the over or the under. I've seen some people with the clock on Twitter posted it right at 121. Some people have it at 119. I just saw a second ago, BetMGM had it as an under.
Yeah.
They graded it as an under. So I don't know. I think that might be a push.
I timed it from my house.
Yeah.
And I had it at 120.8 seconds.
So you had the over.
I had it 0.3 of a second as over. And it depends on when you start your clock, because he sits down and he just starts playing the piano for like a second and a half, 2.5 seconds. Not long, but he's just sitting down playing. It's like, okay, does this count? I didn't start it from there.
So.
I started it from like, okay, it's clear he's going into the anthem. Now that was my time. My time was 120.8.
Yeah. I feel like I think it's supposed to start when he starts singing.
Okay.
Like when he starts with Ose, like that's where you go. But it was almost like he knew that he was right on the edge of it, because the way he drew it out at the end, and I'm sure people were like freaking out who had the under, because you're like, oh no, and he keeps going and going and going.
That also, it might have been some form of protest. President was there. President has been cutting wasteful spending, and has done some things in the art community that have affected Batiste as well. So he might have been harping a little bit on land of the free a little bit.
We're cutting the spending, getting back to the spending. We're only the best spending. He did not play the melodica. That was one of the prop bets you could do, because we talked about on the Stephen Colbert show. He used to play the little mouth piano thing. I don't know what you call it, but he used to play the small one. It's called a melodica. Apparently, he didn't play that.
It'd be tough for him to play that and sing.
Maybe he could do, but I thought maybe like instead of a guitar break or whatever,
just do a little riff on it.
Yeah,
okay.
But he played the piano, so whatever. There was a FanDuel Kick of Destiny competition where Eli Manning had to kick a field goal.
I thought that was going to be like a commercial
at some point.
But I missed it.
They showed a commercial of him making the kick.
They showed him making it over Peyton, right?
Yeah.
Peyton missed. He made it, so that meant he got the...
He made it.
Yeah,
so
he got
Eli
to get
won
the chance.
Thing. Okay. I don't know what it was.
I don't know.
Coin flip. I went heads.
I think I went heads also.
Yeah, and Tails had won something like 6 years in a row. Tails won again.
Oh my gosh, that's 31.
Yeah,
7 years in a row, or something like that. 31 and 28 sits Tails right now. That was one that I was upset I didn't get right.
Me too. I mean, I'm now. You just got to keep betting heads.
Just got to keep going on heads, man.
Because it is 50-50. The odds are like basically 50-50. Although I believe like there's some math to it where if you Google it, like one side of the coin does weigh a little bit more.
I think the tail side weighs a little bit more.
I don't know.
I think so.
I always pick heads though. I always feel like heads is the move. Yeah. I don't know if maybe that's just something I thought of.
I don't know.
Who would be shown first during the national anthem, Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes? It was Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Which it was.
He had a hell of a game also.
Hurts?
We talked about, because that Chiefs offensive line was bad. Like that should be a big deal with how bad they were. The Eagles, one of 8 teams to get 6 or more sacks in a Super Bowl. Like that's not supposed to happen. Yeah. Coincidentally, all 8 teams won the Super Bowl. They're 8-0. Teams who sacked the quarterback 6 or more times, 8-0 in the Super Bowl. But Jalen Hurts, man, Super Bowl MVP, tremendous game, throwing the ball and running the ball as well. And he just does the things that you need a quarterback do to win the football games. You need him to push the ball downfield.
When he threw that pick, though, in the second quarter, it was the end of the first quarter, second quarter, where he dropped back, threw it to the end zone, and didn't get it there and got picked off inside the 5, and the guy went out of bounds. I was thinking, oh, here we go. This is it. Like, that was a bad decision. He threw it into double coverage. Like
he got hit on the throw.
In the replay, you could tell he got hit a little bit. And Tom Brady, one of the few things he did that was interesting, broke down that play a little bit and showed that he got hit and showed that they missed a coverage. Somebody in the offensive line didn't pick up the right guy and somebody came open and hit him. And he was just trying to kind of just guess and throw it deep, and he didn't get it far enough. But after that play, then they show him on the sideline with him and the whole offensive line looking at the pad, and they figure it out. And he was fine after that.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool.
That interception, he threw 4 interceptions during the regular season.
Yep.
He threw 5 interceptions during the regular season. 4 of them came in the first 3 weeks. That interception that he threw was the first interception he had thrown since like November the 10th.
Yeah.
So he threw 4 interceptions in the first 3 weeks. And then the next 16 weeks, he threw 2. So like that's somebody who's at times can be a bit too cautious with the football, But I'd rather that than somebody who's throwing the football up and praying that it doesn't get picked off.
Remember earlier this year, like everybody was all mad at Sirianni and Hurts and
Week 5.
Yeah, like
Week 5, one of them fired.
Everybody like and Sirianni was like trolling the fans.
Yeah.
Like it was weird. That was like a lot of weird stuff, and then it all just turned out okay. How you like that?
Yeah.
I was looking. Hurts finished the season with 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Hey.
2,900 yards passing.
Sometimes you look at it and say, he could probably throw more touchdowns
than 18.
He probably should. He has the opposite issue that Josh Allen had 2 or 3 years ago, where Josh Allen was pushing that ball. He was going to let it fly down the field.
Hurts is too conservative.
And it's like, okay, dial that back some.
Well, too much Nick Saban.
Hurts is just a smidget too conservative.
Last season, Hurts had 23 touchdowns and 15 interceptions.
And that would be why.
Yeah, and I think they got to him, hey, dude, like you got to take care of this ball a little bit.
Just take care of it. And now there's a medium, though.
Yeah.
There's a happy medium. You can only throw 5 because we see great quarterbacks do it. And I think Jalen Hurts is very, very good, close to great. Closer to great than average.
Yeah.
To get to great, though, you got to be able to throw touchdowns and throw for the yardage without having the interceptions.
This is going to seem like a petty complaint, but he didn't have to be great in the Super Bowl because he was playing from ahead the whole game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he was able to be a game manager. It was perfect. It lined up perfectly for him because they got ahead. The Kansas City wasn't doing anything. Now you're like, all right, dude, play your game.
Yeah.
Just keep getting these 3-4 yard runs, setting up 3rd and short. Like, they didn't really have to make any of those 4th down conversions with tush-push plays. They had that one play where it was 4th down and they got an offsides and were able to like just keep going. Like it really.
But that throw to Dotson early in the game, first drive of the game. That was and Jalen Hurts did throw.
That was a dot, son.
He did complete 70% of his passes, right? And he's one of 2 quarterbacks, Tom Brady being the other one, to have at least 3 touchdowns and a 70% completion rate in 2 different Super Bowls. That's the other thing. This Super Bowl performance isn't a fluke because he did it the last Super Bowl also. And the one that they lost by 3. Like, he was good in that one, too.
First touchdown score, there was a prop for that. It was Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Because it looked like it was Saquon, or was it Saquon? Dotson. Yeah, they tackled him, called it a touchdown, brought it back, and then they just did the
everybody get a cheek and push, baby.
The final touchdown score was Xavier Worthy for the Chiefs. Mahomes over-under passing. This is interesting. It was 255.5. And he hit the over by 1.5 yards.
257. And he hit it by 1.5 yards.
Yeah.
In the 4th quarter when the game was done.
On those bombs he was throwing. The
game was done. The Chiefs.
He was doing like a Madden play where he just run back, let everybody run as far as they can. And then,
why not?
Mash that square button.
Chiefs had, I do believe the Chiefs had 23 total yards in the first half.
Yeah.
And the Eagles had 24 points. Like, that's just how bad that offense was. And so for most of the game, it was like, all of the unders on the Chiefs side are going to hit. And the Eagles like, all right, everybody, let's start celebrating early.
You remember, like, we talked about it a lot. The over-under on Hurts was passing yards was 216.
Yeah.
Which seemed very low. We were like, there's no way he's going to go under that. And he ended up with, 221. Like, he barely got over it. And was dominant. Was the MVP of the freaking game. I don't know. The other Barkley was way under 111. That was his rushing yards, 111.5.
Yeah, I had Barkley and Kareem Hunt over 200 yards rushing, and I think they combined to get me like 60.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt was under 42.
Yeah.
Overall, the Gatorade shower color.
It was yellow green.
It was yellow green.
Yeah.
I took that one because I figured you have the most wiggle room. Like, it could be yellowish, it could be green, it could be somewhere in between, whatever. They nailed it. It was yellow. They went right for the yellow. As soon as they showed them on the sideline with 2.5 minutes grabbing that thing, I was like angling, trying to look in that. It better not be purple or red. Like, let's get the right color here. Which DC Marvel movie trailer will appear first during the broadcast? You know what it was?
Was it not the Captain America?
Thunderbolts.
It was Thunderbolts appeared first.
Yeah.
Oh.
Longest field goal made?
So, full disclosure, I see a trailer start for a Marvel movie.
Yep.
I mute the TV and close my eyes immediately. I don't want any trailers. I don't want anything popping in there that could surprise me or anything like that. It's bad enough that I saw a piece of the new Captain America trailer and was like, I wish I would have experienced that just the first time I experienced it to be in the theaters. But yeah, okay.
The field goal over under, which Josh, what's his name?
Jake Elliott.
Josh Elliott. He used to be on. Jake Elliott, the long was supposed to be over 46.5.
Okay.
And he got one.
Like a 48 one.
Yeah, because they moved one back. He made it, and they had a 5-yard penalty.
That was one of the odd things about every time the Eagles went out to kick a field goal, there was a penalty.
Yeah.
Every single time.
He got a lot of practice. He got to kick him. Also, Jason Kelsey. There was a prop on would we see him at all during the game.
We didn't see him, did we?
They didn't show him once. His wife was in the suite, I think, with Taylor Swift.
Okay.
I thought we saw her, but maybe not because she's Eagles related, and that was kind of a Chiefs suite. So I don't know. One of the people I was watching with was like, "There's Kylie Kelsey," but maybe it wasn't her. I don't know. And my favorite one though was, "Will there be a tush push touchdown?" And there was.
Yeah.
First quarter, first touchdown. Yeah.
The other one, Kendrick Lamar, over 10.5 songs.
Yep.
Not sure.
They rated it as over.
Okay, because I've seen some say under. They're not counting the GNX teaser.
Yes.
So if you count GNX teaser, it's 11.
The GNX preview song is technically the first song, according to MGM. The last song was TV Off. Total songs must include lyrics, and it was over 10.5.
Yeah, so it was right at 11. Squabble Up, Humble, DNA Euphoria, Man at the Garden, Peekaboo, Luther, All the Stars, Not Like Us, and TV Off. Yeah. Not Like Us didn't open or close.
No, it was sort of in the middle. Yeah.
It was the second to last song.
But they hinted at it a few times and then got to it. You want some nuggets?
Nugs.
Rob Fisher's not here, but he left me a plate of Pipe and Hop nuggets. So we're going to talk about some fish
crispy.
nuggets. All right, number one. Devontae Smith is the first Alabama drafted player to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. That feels like that is not correct.
I'd believe it. Yeah.
Joe Namath didn't have a touchdown?
Is Joe Namath Alabama?
Yeah. Kenny Stabler? He's an Alabama player.
I don't think Kenny Stabler did.
Kenny Stabler. I saw a list. Jalen Hurts is the fourth Alabama. Jalen Hurts scored a touchdown. Oh, he went to Oklahoma his last season, so they probably don't count him as an Alabama player.
Should that say first Alabama wide receiver?
I don't know. This is Fish's. That's not true. I don't think this is true. He can't be the first Alabama player. Jalen, our producer Jalen, is telling us that it was.
It's true.
The first Alabama player in Joe.
It's true.
Jalen Hurts scored a touchdown before Devontae Smith.
I think we think of him as Oklahoma.
Even though he played 3 years, he won two SEC titles.
No player drafted directly out of Alabama. Ever scored a touchdown in a Super Bowl.
So Joe Namath didn't score.
What did Joe Namath do?
Kenny Stabler didn't score. There's another one because I saw that Hurts was the fourth quarterback from Alabama. And they were all three guys from like the 60s, which I was already salty about. They were like 4 Alabama quarterbacks. I was like, well, 3 of those guys are forever ago. I forgot who the other one was. But I don't know. Maybe those guys didn't score a touchdown, but they threw for a couple of touchdowns or whatever. Like they didn't run it across the line.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure it out. But no, it's For the Win has the same thing. For the Win has the exact same.
No Alabama running backs ever scored a touchdown.
No touchdown in the Super Bowl, right?
Jalen says Joe Namath.
No touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
Kenny Stabler, no.
No. Right. So that's how it happens.
All right. Let's go to the next one. Players in the Super Bowl are 11-4 when celebrating their birthday on Super Bowl Sunday.
Really?
Oh, Cooper DeJean and Saquon had their birthday. I knew it was Saquon's birthday.
Saquon was so locked in.
Yeah.
They did the pre game interview with him on the field after everything, like kickoffs is about to happen. And he is like, you could tell. And Saquon threw some didn't have a great game running the ball, but he made winning plays. He threw some incredible blocks on that big run that sprung Jalen Hurts. Saquon Barkley set up the block that got Hurts down the field. And there were a couple of blocks in pass protection where he's coming from way over the opposite side. Yeah. And I'm not sure if that was by design or if he just looked up and said, oh, no, that guy's coming. I'm going to go hit him. He had a really good like intangible type of game.
He also had the Mamba earring on. Did you see that?
I didn't see the Mamba earring.
He had the Mamba earring. There was a ton of very cool sneakers worn in that game, like custom cleats. If you watch tomorrow's Sneak Fest show on Grind City Media.
What time is that?
We'll go through all those, 2:00 tomorrow.
Oh.
Jalen Hurts, how about this, is the first starting quarterback to win a Super Bowl while wearing number 1. The word starting in there is a red flag to me. So some other quarterback must have won a Super Bowl wearing number 1, but he didn't start.
Didn't start.
I don't know who that would be.
Jalen Hurts now, how close to that top tier quarterback do you put him now?
I think he's like in the tier, but at the back end of it.
So in some order,
like
in that tier,
tier
Mahomes
A,
is
tier
in
B,
there.
tier C.
So he's a tier
I'd say
A
he's
quarterback.
tier A, yeah.
Okay. So in that tier,
would you put him ahead of Matt Stafford just for sake of argument?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had him ahead of Matt Stafford before.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford right now before the Super Bowl.
Who else is like borderline tier A?
Joe Burrow's in tier A?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd put him ahead of
So
Hurts.
Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes. That's tier A. You're saying Hurts is in that tier now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's behind those guys.
Who else is out there near that? 1 year, Daniels, Washington.
Yeah.
Right, is near that, but that's 1 year. Dak? No. Purdy, no.
Houston.
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
Okay. I think it's clear CJ
Justin
Stroud
Herbert?
is not there. I'm a Herbert hater.
Yeah.
Like I got him in not near that tier. Lawrence not near it.
Penix? No.
No.
Baker Mayfield? No.
No.
Tua?
No.
Bryce Young? No.
No.
I'm just throwing out quarterbacks at this point. Yeah. I got nothing else for you.
No. So it's
That's it.
Like it's those 4 and Jalen Hurts is with them now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those 5.
Update.
We
What's
have an
update?
update from Jalen.
Stabler didn't play in the Super Bowl.
Kenny Stabler was AFL. The Snake, Kenny Stabler, was drafted in the AFL. So his score doesn't count.
Yeah.
All right. We got a couple more nugs here.
Nugs.
The final unbeaten team in the NFL has not won the Super Bowl since 2006.
Oh, wow.
The Colts in Super Bowl XLI. The Chiefs were the last unbeaten team this season.
Huh.
Yeah. It's 2006. 20 years.
Yikes.
A long time.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be the last team to lose a game. It takes a toll.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is the first QB to win a Super Bowl QB rematch after losing the first. Manning was 2-0 versus Brady. Aikman was 2-0 versus Kelly. Bradshaw, 2-0 versus Staubach.
You say Manning, and immediately I go to the best Manning and forget.
That is the best Manning, Eli.
That Eli beat Brady twice in
Eli
the Super
is the
Bowl.
best Manning.
Get out
What are
of
you talking
here.
about? I'm just disappointed Eli didn't make the Hall of Fame first
He's
ballot.
not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's 2-0 against Tom Brady.
That's not enough to make you a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Apparently
he gets
not.
in. He gets in, but not
Two-time
first ballot.
MVP.
Two-time what MVP?
Super Bowl MVP.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Yeah, no. At no point did you look
Put
up
that
and
man
say.
in the Hall of Fame.
At no point did you look up and say during Eli Manning's career, you know what? Eli Manning is absolutely a top 5 quarterback.
I mean,
no doubt.
it's weird because like I was never an Eli Manning fan. He played against Georgia in college. I saw him play, and then he was on the Giants his whole career, and I was in New York that time. So I watched him like up close. I saw the coverage of him every week, and never was a fan. Didn't like him. I was always cheering for the Jets of those two teams just because they were the lovable losers, and the Giants were never like dominant. And then all of a sudden they'd get in the playoffs and knock off Tom Brady every once in a while. You're like, oh, okay.
Eli Manning's going to get in the Hall of Fame off the strength of 8 games,
Yeah.
right?
He was
those
like-
2 playoff runs are legit Hall of Fame.
He was
worthy.
always the goofy, lovable brother, like
He
Peyton,
made the
Peyton was
dopey
the
faces.
serious one, and then there was Eli, who looked like he didn't want to play football.
Yeah.
Like he looked like he'd rather be an accountant, and like they just made him play football. And every time you see him on the sideline, he was always like,
His mouth was always open. His hair a mess.
yeah. He looked like the guys in the betting lounges who wear like those visors and they're like looking at the numbers. and
Yeah.
stuff. That's what he looked like he'd rather be doing that. He never looked like he wanted to play football, but he was awesome. Like he won 2 Super Bowls.
Awesome. He was
good.
He was good those 8
Was
games.
Eli Manning better than Jalen Hurts?
No. I'd rather have Jalen Hurts as my starting quarterback over Eli Manning. Jalen Hurts is, hold on, let me get to the notes here. Since 2022 regular season and playoffs, 43-13. Eli Manning backed his way in the playoffs and it just came alive.
Yeah.
They were 9-7
When it counted.
teams inching their way through the season, getting lucky to get into the playoffs, and then they come alive.
Yeah.
But no. Let's not be mistaken. I saw Eli Manning throw a bunch of terrible passes as he started quarterback for the New York football playing Giants. No, give me Jalen Hurts.
Last one. Patrick Mahomes has more interceptions in 5 Super Bowls than Tom Brady had in 10 Super Bowls.
Are we trying to close the GOAT conversation?
Was it open?
I didn't think it was.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal.
He's very good, yeah.
Yeah, but
Tom Brady's the greatest cheater we've ever seen.
he got 7 rings off of it.
He did. He was great at it.
You got to get 7 rings, man.
He would have had 9 if it wasn't for Eli Manning. Eli came in there and took care of business.
How crazy is that?
That's right.
Tom Brady would have 10 Super Bowl championships had it not been for Eli Manning and Nick effing Foles.
That's right.
The 2 quarterbacks that beat Brady in the Super Bowl.
Manning the lesser. He came in there and did it. Took care of business. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we have possibly the greatest edition of Who Said It that we have seen yet this season. We'll look over some futures, too, and then we'll get out of here. You're watching The Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
That's right. It's time for the game show that's swept the country, swept the nation. It doesn't end just because the Super Bowl's over. It actually gets better even now. It's time for Who Said It. And Fish is not here. Roser's not here to play Who Said It. It's just myself and CJ heard. CJ just got an email and it dinged loudly in my ear.
I apologize.
All good. So I would like us right now, CJ, to start by talking about the Waste Management Open, the golf tournament that happened in Arizona this week. This is one of we haven't talked about this at all. Really, it's one of like the most rowdy golf tournaments. There is.
I forget what we were watching. Maybe it was the Michigan game. I think the Michigan men's basketball, Michigan versus Indiana, was on CBS this weekend, and we were watching it. It ends, and we go straight into the Waste Management. And so before we could change the channel, my wife and I sitting on the couch, she's like, yo, I thought you had to be quiet at golf tournaments. What's going on here? I was like, I don't know, but I like it.
This is the one that's encouraged for you not to be quiet. Okay. Alcohol flows freely at this tournament. One of the powers that be around here went to the tournament last year.
Turn up.
And apparently had a very good time. I wanted to show you guys some of the highlights of the Waste Management Open, just some of the things, Jim Nance actually was at this tournament instead of at the Super Bowl where he could, and normally Jim Nance at the golf tournaments is quiet and demure and everything.
Yeah.
This tournament, we don't play that. We just have fun. So, CJ, here's a bonus clip. We have 3 bonus clips to start this off. Let's start with bonus clip number 1 from the Waste Management Open.
Oh, what a lean. What a lean.
This is amazing.
Yo, is he going to fall?
What do you think?
He's got to fall at some point.
Right here. I'm getting every single second of it.
And he was fine. Didn't fall.
He didn't fall?
It's impressive, man. He was at like I don't know what angle that is, 60 degrees. I mean, he was pretty far back.
Leaning Tower of Pisa lean going on. It's like surely
he's
deep. Gonna fall.
I mean, he wasn't even inside the place yet. He was like on the way in.
Wait, I thought he was leaving.
I don't think so. I think he was on the way in. I mean, people look like they were going to the thing.
Good Lord. All right.
Well, some people got a little too turned in the tournament.
Okay, this seems like my type
bonus
of
clip
tournament.
number 2.
Whoa! Straight up army carrying my man out.
Yeah. They had to carry him out. He had a little too much fun.
If you're listening, not watching, you're doing yourself a bit of a disservice.
Yeah.
A man has his buddy. I'm assuming it's his buddy. Just again
over the shoulders,
carrying him out.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the sun. It's hot. I get it. You know, like you drink a little.
Gotta drink water.
Yeah, people don't hydrate. They get confused. They think, oh, I'm good, and then all of a sudden it hits you.
And it hits all of a sudden. Wow, that's a good friend, though.
It was a good. Yeah, that's
a good
that's good friend. And then one more clip from this tournament. This is actually just this is good for all tournaments. Don't let kids drive the golf carts.
Oh no! Get out the way!
Oh my God!
Can we watch it again, Jalen?
Look out! Look out! Look out!
The dad hanging on.
Oh my God!
I think somebody else.
How old is that kid?
I don't know. Somebody else like hit the brakes. Like the kid doesn't know. There's a reason there. The kids just punch the gas. He doesn't know anything.
Dude, show it again because I want to see how old this child is.
It looks like 4 or 5 years old.
Can't be older than 5.
Stop it!
Gotta be 7. Max 7.
That was one of my favorites.
Don't do that.
All right, let's talk about the Super Bowl because this was the big event, right?
Yeah.
Fox broadcast the game, and they brought in a special correspondent for this game, a favorite of Who Said It, Jameis Winston. And CJ has some feelings about Jameis Winston. CJ does not like Jameis Winston.
Don't like him at all.
Should we talk about that before we get to this? Like, why are you anti-Jameis?
I think it's just shtick. I think Jameis is a POS, right? Like I think that
that's not shtick.
He can mask it by doing goofy things, and we're like, oh, look at him. I ain't forgot about the Florida. I ain't forgot about the Florida State stuff. I ain't forgot about the Uber stuff. You say he grew up.
Then
he had the Uber situation or the Lyft situation. One of those situations where some stuff popped off and like, all right, man. And I'm pretty sure he caught a pretty significant suspension because of the Uber situation.
I don't know.
Where I think he was suspended 4 games for, at the very least, making a female driver feel really, really uncomfortable. So I think that the difference in Jameis and somebody like Deshaun Watson, I think the difference is by sheer amount of numbers, right? The sheer amount of people who've come out and said, no, Deshaun Watson has been sexually assaulting
three
and
games
harassing.
suspension.
3 games. Sexually assaulting and harassing.
10 years ago.
Women for a long time now.
He was belligerent to a driver. Allegedly.
I think it was beyond belligerent.
That's what the police report said.
Yeah, I think it was some other stuff also.
But Jameis has turned things around. He's become a fan favorite. He's become a favorite of most of us here on the Odds Couple.
Everybody but me.
So we had a lot of Jameis situations this week here at the Super Bowl. So I thought we could just play Who Said It with just Jameis. So CJ, number 1, what instrument did Jameis Winston play in the New Orleans Jazz Band this week?
And I hate I saw this. Why do I feel like it was a horn? I'm gonna say horn. I picture it was somewhere he was standing up. I did not pay attention to the video because as soon as I saw it was James, like, get this off my damn feed. I'm gonna say horn. Trumpet.
Play it. That's a cowbell.
Oh, see, I didn't even get to this part of the video.
The Jameis Winston cowbell.
All right.
It was great.
Oh, gosh.
Number 2. What food item did Jameis Winston have a conversation with?
Wait, did he talk? I saw him with the W beignet.
Okay.
I saw it. They had the powder on it because Jameis, that's the other thing I don't like about Jameis. Jameis gets in these damn.
You seem like you watch a lot of Jameis content this week.
You couldn't escape it, Lang. As hard as I tried, and you
feels like you didn't try that hard.
I think it was your fault because I wasn't getting any, and then you sent me 2, and I clicked on the
some
links,
into the group chat,
and then it just hit up on my feed. Jameis is known for eating the W for some damn reason, and I think he did this. I know he ate a beignet shaped
Well, it's not
in the
what
W.
did he eat. It's what did he have a conversation with. He had a conversation with the piece of food.
I can't imagine that we just had a bunch of James. I refuse to believe, Lang. In the year 2025, we gave this much attention to a bad backup quarterback in the NFL, and I refuse to believe that there were multiple types of foods involved in various clips. I refuse to believe it. So I'm going to say beignet, final answer.
All right.
Well, when you look at this.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, my God. Look at the powder that's coming off that thing.
We'll wait till it talks back to him.
Look at the powder. Hey,
Come
Jameis.
on,
I heard you've been eating a lot of me. Yes, I have, W. Beignet. But I heard that it's only one of you. Well, Jameis, please take your time and eat me so you can savor every moment. W. Beignet, I really don't want any heartburn, so I'm just going to make sure that I eat you as fast as I possibly can and drink some water to get rid of all the sugar that you have. Jameis, I am a New Orleans staple. Everyone wakes up to come and eat me. Obviously, no one really comes to eat you. They come to eat beignets because you're the only W beignet that I ever made and got. What do you have to say about yourself? I asked for extra crispy, and you're a little soft.
I can't.
You got it.
This. I can't.
You're 1 for 2. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, number 3. Whose twerking videos did Jameis warn kids not to watch?
Oh my gosh.
You said you were concerned with Jameis and some of the things he's involved with off the field. Now he's trying to help the kids.
Sure he is. I did not see this, and I'm mad at you for making me see this now. But hey, listen, everybody's got to do something at work they don't like, right? Like I don't. It could be worse than watching Jameis do dumb shit. I'm going to say that he warned kids not to watch. I'm going to say the Nelly tip drill. I'm going to say it wasn't a person. I'm going to say Nelly tip drill.
All right.
What are we sending our attention to? Are we watching Megan Thee Stallion twerking videos? Or are we watching Kobe Bryant greatness videos?
That's right.
I'm not just listening to what somebody tell me to do, but I'm putting in the effort of what I'm going to do each day. How I'm going to pour into myself. How I'm speaking to myself. How I'm reading to enhance myself, the people that I'm listening to, the people that I'm allowing to impact my energy that I have. And the third thing, it comes natural. Once you have God and once you educate yourself, I can do anything I put my mind to.
There you go. Once you have God and you educate yourself, you can do anything you put your mind to.
That's the other thing I don't like about Jameis. Just take all the other stuff to the side. If Jameis was coming to talk to me in high school, I'd be like, yo, get this dude the F up out of here. I'm not paying him any attention. Who's he talking to?
I think it was kids, like young kids.
Oh, yeah. If he's coming to talk to me after the age of, when did I complete DARE program? Like, the DARE program was like, okay, this stuff is maybe 4th grade.
Yeah.
5th grade on, I get this dude the hell up out of here. I don't take him serious.
I think he's probably in New Orleans, though, kid. Like, because he was the Saints quarterback a couple of years ago. Like, the kids probably still like him and know who he is and stuff. I don't know.
That sort of stuff just would not work on me.
It was good advice, though.
Listen, man.
Are you putting Megan Thee Stallion twerk videos in your head, or are you listening to Kobe Bryant greatness videos? CJ?
Another one I don't like. I watch Jalen and Screaming both. I watch Megan Thee Stallion twerk videos every day before I brush my teeth. Just like, all right, Meg, twerk something for me. That's some good stuff right there. Megan Thee Stallion is greatness.
This is why you're having trouble.
I just watched a Megan Thee Stallion twerk video right before the show.
Yeah.
I think I can find it for you and show you.
No, I'm good. I don't put that kind of stuff into my brain.
All right.
Number 4, when Jameis Winston dressed up like a pirate.
Oh, come on.
What did he see in the toilet at the bar?
I saw him dressed as a pilot. I did not see him I saw him dressed as that. I didn't see him at the bar. I'm going to guess he saw empty shot bottle. Right. Like a small little alcoholic bottle.
Old pirate tricks that I learned back when I was a young pirate.
Oh, come on, man.
Was to always sniff your direction.
Supposed to do what?
Sniff.
Come here, matey. For a pirate, what does a pirate see in the toilet?
What does the pirate see in the toilet?
A captain's log.
Wait, what?
Captain's log.
What?
He saw a captain's log in the toilet. That's what a pirate sees in the toilet.
Why is he like this?
I don't know.
And we allow it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
By the way, that reminds me, we were talking about what you put in your brain on that. What do you call a book club where it's the same book forever?
I don't know what.
Church.
Come on. Come on.
Hey, what activity did Jameis lead the Pat McAfee show in doing?
Oh, gosh. What did he do?
Because he's on the McAfee show like once every week or two. He's on there regularly.
I didn't know he was a regular
from normally Skypes in or whatever, like those guys do. But he was in person because they were in New Orleans.
I saw this prayer and it made me angry.
Yeah.
Back to the
Lock
drawing
it
board.
in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Lock it in. Every prayer can get better, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
every single one. AJ has a question for
That's
you.
why you pray every day.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Jameis, first off.
Let's pray right now, actually. Jameis, can you lead a prayer for us?
I can. Heavenly Father, we do not want to joke about you at all, Lord. We are so honored and grateful that we are able to be among each other, Lord. You have given us this moment now, and this is all that we have, God. Help us, please, to advance your kingdom as we move forward, Lord. I just pray for Pat and his team, Lord, that they just continue to give people the word of true sports, of experiences of a lifetime, Lord. But through that, Lord, they can find you in everything that they do, Lord. Bless us with a great voice, Lord. Lead us to the promised land, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. That was a good prayer.
Thank you, James.
That was a good prayer. Thank you, James.
I'm gonna say a prayer. I'm gonna say a prayer tonight, and just to apologize that my Lord and Savior had to hear that nonsense.
That was a good prayer.
Man, whatever.
Last one.
You gonna let Jameis Winston pray for you?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll take all the help I can get. Last one. Somebody, Jameis went up on one of those balconies on Bourbon Street.
Okay.
Threw something to the crowd.
Okay.
What did he throw to the crowd?
What did he throw? This was another one that I saw and didn't want to see.
You've seen like all these clips, dude.
And didn't want to see any of them. I blame you. Because I wasn't seeing anything.
I didn't send all these because I didn't want to spoil who said it.
I was just scrolling through and the algorithm's like, oh, your friends, your buddies are sending you these types of things. Here's goes
the way
more.
You said your buddies was the most passive way you could. Your buddies.
Your buddy, yeah. Like that's how my algorithm talks to me.
Sounds like that beignet.
Did he throw? Oh, you're gonna make me curse. Did he throw footballs at people?
He did, but there was something else. He threw a football to fans, but he threw something else.
Okay, so then I didn't see this one. Thank goodness, and you're making me see it.
It's a food item.
Food item. Is it more beignets? Please say it's more beignets.
Just run it.
Run it.
A crab leg, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. It is nothing better than this. Oh my God. It's amazing.
Get out of here.
I mean, if anybody knows about crab legs.
Come on here, Gronk.
Throwing crab.
Yeah.
Legs. Get out.
Yeah. Oh.
The NCAA should suspend them again. Yeah. They should take more wins from Florida State football for this
crab
nonsense.
legs is the best right there.
Get out of here.
Oh, all right. That's Who Said It this week. I don't know how we're going to do with Who Said It now the football season's over. Maybe I have to watch more college basketball and NBA press conferences, stuff like that.
Maybe. People are always, athletes
I'll tell you
are always going to say weird things.
I'm always going to have an eye on Jameis.
Oh, God. I'm going to need a day. I should have took a mental health day.
Before we get out of here, we have a graphic of Super Bowl odds for next season. And Chiefs are in the lead. Eagles number 2. I can't see that far away.
Ravens plus 700. Bills plus 800. Those are your top 4. Then the Lions come in at plus 900. And after that, there's a pretty steep drop off. 49ers are next at plus 1,400, followed by the Packers at plus 1,800. Bengals in there at plus 1,900. Then you got the Commanders, Texans, Chargers, and Rams, all with odds greater than 2,000.
You know what? If I had to pick one of those teams from that second tier, I might go with the Bengals.
Okay.
Because they were so bad at the start of the season, and then they kind of got things figured out, and they were great, but it wasn't enough to dig out. Burrow was awesome. If I had to take one of those teams, it might be that one. Detroit's losing all their coaches. Maybe the Niners will be healthy this year. Maybe that might be a good bet. Washington will be more experienced, but I don't know. If I'm taking one of those second tier teams, that's kind of how I would. What do you think? Is there anybody?
I think I would jump past all of the second tier teams and go straight to, not the Chargers. Throw it back up, Jalen. Yeah, because I had it and then I just lost it. Throw it back up there for me. The Texans.
Yeah.
Skip everybody and take Texans plus 2,700. I think there's something there with C.J. Stroud and another year with DeMeco Ryans as a head coach. They can figure out some things defensively and with the draft and some free agency moves. I think they're a couple of pieces away from being one of those special teams having a special season. Also, does not hurt them that they get 6 games against the Jaguars, the Colts, and the Titans.
Yeah. I saw somebody today on Twitter was suggesting Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp to the Giants with Malik Neighbors already there. Because they've hired some coaches who have connections to Stafford. So,
the Rams could use that to reload on the draft picks that they gave up to get that Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't mind that.
All right. That's this week's Odds Couple. We'll be back on Thursday. We got to at some point start talking NCAA tournament because that's around the corner. The Masters is coming up. The Oscars is coming up. We got a bunch of shows to get into. We didn't even talk about wrestling. I went to WWE this weekend.
Oh, nice.
WrestleMania is coming up not too long from now. But for now, that's what we got. So hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you had fun. He's CJ Hurt. That's Jalen on the 1s and 2s. I'm Lang. We'll be back with you on Thursday here on Grind City Media at 2 o'clock. You're watching The Odds Couple on Grind City Media.